Yeah, you, right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. It's kind of dank out there. We're going to use the word dank. I'm going to have to Google that one, Miss Peaches. Yeah, I just want to read the definition of dank. Let's see. Disagreeably damp, musty, and typically cold. Huge, dank caverns. I think dank's an appropriate term for right now. It's kind of overcast. It's like threatening rain, but as like a native New Orleanian, we know it's like not gonna rain right now, but it's coming. It's coming. It's supposed to come tomorrow. We might get like 60 tomorrow. And then kaboom goes the dynamite. Not right back down to where we were earlier in the week, but cold again. Kind of warmed up a little bit today. Monday and Tuesday, the high was like 43. Yesterday and today, we kind of got to like the higher 40s. But then this overcast, this wind blowing, and this dankness makes it cold. The last 4 days have been totally, for at least New Orleans standards, a wintry mix out there. It's going to warm up a little bit tomorrow, and then another cold front coming in, and another Arctic blast. Yeah, Miss Peach is already laughing. Miss Peaches, I said Arctic blast a few times yesterday.
Did you go get one?
I actually was talking about that. The Oreo one from Dairy Queen. Pretty good. I like how they turn it upside down before they hand it to you. You're like, you think the whole thing's going to drop out. Nope. And I don't know if you saw the small print on the cup, but it said can be used as a mortar for like bricks for building a wall. FYI, yes. Anyway, no, an Oreo Blizzard or whatever. I don't know which one's Dairy Queen and which one's Sonic. There's a Blizzard and there's a Shiver or something. I don't know what it is. Anyway, the ice cream with the Oreo, how do you go wrong with that? Sugar and lots of sugar and more sugar.
McDonald's has
McFlurry. Yeah, someone's telling me about the Oreo McFlurry today.
But that's if the machine works.
Now, I got a question for you. That strange top to the spoon for the McFlurry, you have any clue what that's all about?
I think they stopped doing it, but yes.
Oh, it's a regular spoon now?
I think it's all regular now.
You remember the one that almost like could hold like a drop of liquid, yet it had like this like little hook on it, but it opened up at the top like It was kind of almost like a little container. It
basically became part of the mixing
the
machine.
Handle.
Yeah.
What's that, Miss Peaches?
Oh, am I giving something away?
No.
Oh, yeah.
It clicked into the blender, right? So the spoon was the blade for the blender, and then you would unhook it, and it would remain in the McFlurry.
That's it.
Wow. That seems like a...
But that was kind of like fun. It was like, oh, this is a cool... I don't know why.
Yeah, it seems cost prohibitive to me and just unnecessary. But anyway, I always wondered what that was for years on the old McFlurry spoon.
I think they stopped doing it.
Yeah. Huh. I wonder if that's even ice cream, the McFlurry.
Ice milk.
Or is it a Mellarine? I think it's Mellarine is... Well, since we were looking up words and we looked up dank, we might... Yeah, ice milk's like such a low quality ice cream. Mellarine is a cheaper alternative to ice cream that uses vegetable or animal fats instead of butter fat. It's made in the same way as ice cream, but refined fats instead of butter fats. So just butter fat, I guess, is too expensive. So this Mellarine is just sort of a low quality ice cream. Anyway.
Seems healthy.
Well, when you load it full of sugar, it's not healthy, but it's kind of, it's a bad ice cream, I guess, compared to high quality stuff. I'm sure Sonic and Dairy Queen's not the greatest ice cream either.
Right.
But when you load it full of sugar, it becomes a tasty treat.
Delicious.
Hell, what's in the Oreo, Miss Peaches? That's like lard, right?
I don't want to know what's in the Oreo.
I think the inside of the Oreo is basically lard with sugar.
Pretty much lard.
Because I remember I told Frank Brightson one time, what if you got like the double stuff and just scooped out the inside, put it like in a black iron skillet and fried chicken in that lard? How would that be? He'd laugh like you.
I think it's mixed lard, so it wouldn't.
What? It liquefies. I mean, you could fry the chicken. It's got the sugar. Might be some sugary, sweet fried chicken.
You should try that report back.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. I'm not frying chicken, period. So you think I'm going to scoop the Oreos? Right. At least they make the super like double stuff now. So it'd be easier to get the goop.
See?
It would be easier to get the goop. Now, I love a double stuff, Miss Peaches, but the double stuff, like it's too much.
It's too sweet.
It's too much. It's beyond too sweet. It's just too much lard or whatever. Anyway. Hey, food snob here, Miss Peaches. You ready for this one?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I'm telling you, when you get into those highest grades of Japanese Wagyu beef, it's too marbled for me. Like it ceases being meat, in my opinion.
What?
It's just so fat and marbled. A ribeye, it's just a greasy mess. With that,
cook it right, maybe? Or
no. You can Google the little picture if you want. You've seen how it's like. The 12 is like is gray. It's not even red. So you have like, everybody's like, oh, A5 Wagyu. There's still, it could be 5 different levels of A5, sure. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Okay.
So there's A4, which is like prime, basically in the United States, not in Japan.
Okay.
But A4 is like 6 and 7. And A5 is 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Yeah. The top 5 are A5, and A4 is 6 and 7. And then I guess like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 is like getting into choice and select on the Japanese scale. So they have like 12 levels of beef, 12 levels. Wagyu 7, A4 6 and 7, A5 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So someone says like, hey, it's A5 Wagyu. It could be 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12. 8 is much less marbled than 12.
Okay.
9's more marbled than 8. Every number you go up. I don't want 9, 10, 11, or 12. You ready? Food snob doesn't want the 9, 10, 11, or 12 too marbled.
Supposedly the best.
Which is, quote, the best, clearly. Because it becomes like foie gras or pate. I don't know what the hell it becomes. It ain't beef anymore.
Have you tried it?
Yes. Oh, yeah. No, it's greasy. I'm like, it's not even beef. I don't know what the hell it is.
Okay.
But people love it.
No, I strive to try it one day.
No, I wanted. I was like, I love
like
beef.
The best.
It's got to be better than what I'm eating.
Sure.
The beef on steroids. It's too much marbling.
It's too much.
I'm telling you, it's too much marbling. For me, like I want a A4 7.
Okay.
Or an A5 8. I don't want the 9 to 12. It's too rich for me. And I don't mean money wise, which it is too much for me. Also money wise. It's like $180 a pound. It's crazy. Yeah. $250 a pound. It's nuts. You eat like 3-ounce little slivers and that's it, But no, for me, Miss Peaches, it's too much. It's too greasy. It's too fatty. It's too marbled.
But that cow supposedly had a better life than you.
Oh, that cow has music, singing, rubbing all the time, drinking beer. Yeah, that cow is living it up. It's true. You can check out the videos on YouTube. Those cows get treated very nicely. Anyway. It's Beef Talk. We've changed the format to Beef Talk. Radio people all the time, they're coming up with new formats. It could be a music format, a new talk format. We've come up with our own. We're going to try it. We're rolling with this for the next 36 to 48 hours. It's called Beef Talk. 24/7, 365 Beef Talk. Coming up at 6, it's Hamburger Hour. And then at 7, we talk T-bones. At 9, it's the anti-beef show. We get these weird crackpots on. They have like a trail mix and they ride up in a Subaru and they're talking tofu in place of beef. It's crazy. At 10 p.m., we run them out of town. Oh, wow. I just lost the hardcore left audience on that one, Miss Peaches. Did he say trail mix and Subaru? Tofu? I run with this girl who doesn't eat seafood, doesn't eat meat, doesn't eat, as fit as can be. I mean, she's an animal. but is, vegetables, fruit, vegetable, basically. No seafood. No seafood. Yep. No meat. None of that. I like meat. I like steaks. Yummy. Supposed to get some rain tomorrow. I got a big oak tree in front of my house. I don't have to worry about leaves falling off of it and getting stuck in my gutter because Audubon Gutters, a couple of months ago, installed new gutters on my house featuring the leaf guard system. Why would you even consider going anywhere else but Audubon Gutters for your home or business? The Gulf South's largest, audubongutters.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa with 5 area New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. On Jefferson Highway, across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeVar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Orleans talk giant, Corey Johnson, on the neutral ground.
I'll have the entire city of New Orleans in the palm of my hand.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM. Also from Baton Rouge to Pensacola, Florida on 600 AM and 1560.
Yes, 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 and yes. Corey Johnson back at you. Don't forget about YouTube, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're on YouTube right now. You can check out the program, audio and video, on your television, your smart TV, your iPhone, or whatever smartphone you're using, tablet, pad, computer. We're on TV until 5:30, old school television, Cox Channel 4, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Spectrum Channel 333, Slidell, Covington, Mandeville, Hammond, Houma, Thibodaux, Opelousas. Yeah, you right. All of that info, radio, TV, YouTube, where you can check us out on our website, CoreyTalks.com. Kaare, CoreyTalks.com. You can email us anytime, question, comment, criticism, whatever. Corey at CoreyTalks.com. 31 days till Super Bowl 59. Yeah, you right. Bring it on. You know what? One thing about this terrorist attack, I mean, first off, like this, ISIS now is celebrating it on their website. Worldwide, the Bourbon St attack on their website, ISIS. If you just learn a little bit about this guy, just hitting rock bottom in life. I'm not defending the loser, Jabbar. I'm just telling you, hit rock bottom in life, divorce, losing his wife, family, job, everything. You know, just threw in the towel on America, pounces on this ISIS. Just a depressed loser guy that, you know, like an ISIS terrorist. Sure, you want to say he's that. He's saying he's that. I think he's ISIS terrorist light. I think he was a disenchanted, depressed, broken person that didn't know what to do, just a loser, and he pounced on this. But I don't look at this guy as like some hardcore ISIS person in contact with them in the Middle East, and him and 20 other people are all around the country, and number 2 is about ready to go off. I don't think that at all. This is a lone wolf crackpot that gravitated toward ISIS because he's such a zero and his life was crap. And just, this is how he ended his life. Just mentally broken. 2 + 2 = banana. You don't try to logically figure it out or what was he thinking or any of that. So this is it's like a plane crashing and you're not going to fly the next day. A plane's going to crash. Cars are going to crash. Trains are going to derail. I'm going to ride the train, drive in my car, and I'm going to fly the next day. And Super Bowl 59 is coming in 31 days. And New Orleans will probably be one of the safest places to be in the world. Probably an extra 1,000 law enforcement added to what was already going to be here for the Super Bowl. And Mardi Gras, like the Super Bowl, this Sear 1 rating, the feds now getting involved, another 1,000+ feet on the ground. Feet on the ground or foots on the ground? Feets, foots. We're going with foots. Wow. Anyway, Super Bowl 59, 31 days. Bring it on. Who's worried about that? But I know I've heard a few people like, I'm not going down to Bourbon St. I mean, I went down there the other day like I would tonight, tomorrow, anytime. Not worried about a terrorist attack. Are you kidding me? New Orleans is probably the last place you'll see that ever again in our lifetime. Yeah, ISIS is celebrating the Bourbon St attack, taking credit, loving it. Boris Mart and other television attorneys, but definitely Boris Mart law firm confirmed today, just 7 days after the tragedy, suing the city on behalf of some of the victims and the families of some of the victims that have died. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm Boris Mart, the attorney, and it's the family of the victim that died. I'd be like, I'd sign them up. I'm your attorney. And then I'd say, hey, guys, You want to proceed full blast right away, right now? I'm ready to do it. But as your attorney, let's wait a second. We don't need to announce that you hired me. We don't need to announce that we're suing. We just need to chill. It's 7 days since this tragedy. There's emotions are at a ridiculously all-time high level. I'm not telling you how to think because I'm not in your shoes and I didn't lose my husband, wife, son, daughter, loved one. But I'm a lawyer and I sue for a living and emotions are high right now. I'm in your court. We're signed up. I'm going to do it for you. I'll start right now, full blast if you want. But I'm recommending we put the brakes on things right now. And we wait and see what's going on. Maybe the feds are going to compensate you. It's a ridiculous long shot law firm to begin with. Lawsuit. Suing a municipality. First off, I don't think it's warranted. I don't think the city's guilty or faulty here. This guy would have gone right down the street, done it somewhere else. I think this is ridiculous. And shame on Boris Mart. You know, this proud New Orleanian. This is like the second lawsuit against the city in like a year. It's just, I don't know. I think it's pretty weak. I think it's pretty pathetic. I'm not blaming the victims 1 minute. But as a lawyer, I'd be like, hey, y'all are very emotional right now. Trust me. Let's simmer down. This is what I do for a living. I'm not abandoning you. I'm representing you. Let's slow this thing down. Let's see what the feds are going to do. Like 9/11 families and the victims. You know, they received a lot of money, millions of dollars, as they should have. 3,000 plus people. This is 14. And the 40 or so that were injured. They deserve compensation. I'm not saying they don't. I just think the lawsuits suing the city, I don't know, it's kind of like the lowest common denominator type thing. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday. Let's hit the phone lines. The Rouse's Markets phone lines. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. If you ever forget that number and you want to dial up the program and maybe there's a gap in the show where I'm not throwing it out there, go to CoreyTalks.com. It's always there on the website. Rob in New Orleans joins us on the program. What up, Rob? Rob, you there?
And I watched all the local news stations, and I can't remember which it has Dean commentator.
You're breaking up. You didn't realize which one has what?
The legal commentator is it Dean Cialino? I think he's at Loyola.
Dean Cialino, yeah, from Loyola, from the Southern Poverty Law Center.
Look, I'm not an attorney. I'm ignorant on all this, but he's obviously an expert. And he was saying that this is an impossible lawsuit. He said that there is immunity for, and I had always thought that too for government agencies. But what he pointed out, let us not forget, Morris Barton, et cetera, they are suing first responders. And to me, that's really disgusting because whether you're police or emergency services, you're risking your life. They don't make huge amounts of money. And it's like, I mean, that's who you're suing. I mean, that's who they're suing. And I mean, I didn't know if it was Morris Bart, but I saw one law firm. They were based on the Gulf Coast. It's Connick and somebody, and they have a New Orleans office, and they've been joined by a law firm from Chicago. And I can't remember what the name of the law firm in Chicago, but like the Chicago law firm really gives a damn about the people here. I mean, it's all about money. But anyway, apparently, according to a legal expert, Dean Cialino, it's the government has immunity. Oh, he also said even if they're successful, the city doesn't pay out.
No, exactly.
And if they do,
exactly.
It takes like decades.
Any city doesn't pay out. It takes forever. Exactly.
But the thing that's, and he wasn't making a big point of this, but it hit me that these lawsuits are against first responders, really.
Indirectly, they are. I mean, the first responders aren't going to get money taken out of their paycheck, but that's who you'd be suing, that they were, NOPD wasn't right, the chief wasn't right, all of that. Yeah, no, it's I think it's kind of pathetic, Rob. And I think you're preying on the emotion of these victims that, Morris Bart's worried about. If I don't sign him, someone else will. So he's going to sign him. And then it's 7 days out. He's going to announce that he signed him and that there's a lawsuit. And it's a week out from the tragedy. I mean, it is full-blown emotion right now for those folks, not logic. You got to slow this thing down a little bit.
Right. And when you look at all the people in the media beating up on the police here and so forth, what seems to be getting lost here is that the person at fault is that lunatic who ran everyone over, not the police, not the city government and so forth. Anyway, Corey, just want to chime in.
Thanks, Rob. Thank you very much. No, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. It's the lunatic who would have done it anyway, No, and just this, this is where the media is bad. Like the media didn't bring to attention there were no bollards on the sidewalk or this guy could drive around the barriers or the media now is just looking at why it happened and then blaming someone for why it happened and trying to come up with a person who's responsible. But the media wasn't like, here's a problem that could, this is not set up right. It isn't terrorist proof. No one, I didn't see one story. I didn't see one person anywhere complaining about the Taylor Swift concert and the sidewalks not being protected with a Archer device, those big yellow things everybody's enamored with lately. I've never seen one comment or person talk about ever a sidewalk being blocked in the French Quarter. Never. But now all of a sudden, a lot of people are irresponsible for not doing that. It's kind of mind-blowing to me. Some of the media, some of the politicians, not good. Coming right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeVar by Causeway. Smoothie King. Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian. Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the Neutral Ground.
You can say anything you please about me, but don't say anything bad about Blue Boy.
Down, Blue Boy. Good buddy. That's the truth. You can bust on me, bust my chops all day. Don't say anything disparaging about Blue Boy. He's just a good pup. Hey, in New Orleans, in Baton Rouge, when it's time to paint, Helm Paint and Decorating. 7 New Orleans locations, 4 in the capital city. High-quality Benjamin Moore paint. Free 2-hour delivery so you or your crew can keep working. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, when you got to paint in Metro Baton Rouge, do it once, do it right. Let them steer you in the right direction. You go to Helm Paint and Decorating. That goes in the no-brainer category. Hey, it's a little after 4:30 on a Thursday. Let's get stacked. We're heading to the Stacked Gym over there on River Road and Arnold, right past the River Shack. StackedCoaching.com. Bradley Sneller, owner, operator, head coach, head trainer. It's his shooting match over there at Stacked Gym. What's happening, Bradley?
What's happening, my brother? How are you?
Doing well. Yourself?
Just trying to beat this cold, man. Can't stand it.
No, it's ridiculous. It is cold. Yeah, nothing worse than going into the Stacked Gym and it's cold and that little lime green dude with the flags out on the street. That little plastic thing. That means we got to run outside. Uh-oh.
And it's 37 degrees.
Exactly. I'm not friends with that guy, by the way.
Makes us stronger.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Hey, Bradley, besides the gym and working out and making people stronger, you kind of have a dual thing going over there. You know, fitness, as you say, is for wellness. Fitness is for wellness. And then you talk about nutrition. Nutrition is for weight loss. And you say you can't outwork a bad diet. So you do both the fitness part at the gym and nutrition, right?
Yeah, I sure do.
And what would you tell someone if they came in? I mean, how would you talk to them? What questions would you ask? What comprises like a nutrition consultation with you?
Yeah, I mean, so when someone walks into our gym, the very first thing we ask them is, what are they trying to accomplish? And if it has anything to do with weight loss at all, my next question is, what does your nutrition look like? And then it might be, what have you done for your nutrition in the past? Have you tried coaching? What worked for you? What hasn't worked for you? Those are all very important questions to understand what their dietary habits are like in order for us to figure out what a plan might be for them going forward.
And when you ask these questions, obviously you're figuring out why they're overweight and what they need to do to have a normal, quote, diet?
Well, typically, when someone is overweight, everyone is overweight for one reason and one reason only. And it's you are intaking more calories than you're expending. your energy intake is higher than your energy expenditure, which means you are eating more calories than you are burning. Now, most people, you probably heard the phrase, eat less, move more, right? Which is true. But it can be difficult for a lot of people because of as intensity picks up or as your activity increases, your hunger increases. So if you have no understanding of the amount of calories that are going in your body, and you just all of a sudden try to eat less, well, if you're eating things that are more calorically dense, but like, let's say less of it, there's still a good chance you're overeating. And you may not notice because let's say you do have a good habit of eating the 80% full, but you were just hungrier all the time, well, your frequency of eating might increase.
And maybe if you start exercising, going to the gym a lot, the diet may not have really been a problem?
Yeah, I mean, look, there are some people out there where diet isn't an issue. Okay, like, I'm just going to use you as an example, Corey. Like, you walked into our gym, you kind of had an idea of what you were doing that was wrong. You're a pretty smart guy, so you just kind of listened to the information that we threw out there. You didn't really need a whole lot of coaching when it came to nutrition, and then you just started being more active, and you lost, 30, 40 pounds? I mean, something ridiculous. Like, you look completely different than when you started. And so really for you, it was creating a consistent pattern or consistent habit when it comes to exercise, and then just cleaning up or tightening up a few things here or there. You didn't need an entire overhaul of your dietary patterns.
Now how does knowing what one person eats and how much of it help you lose weight, Bradley? Like, what do you tell them once you know this stuff?
Yeah, so, there are some particular buzzwords I hear that I know of that unless you fully understand the science behind what you're explaining, you're doing it wrong. Okay, so a lot of people like to say, I eat low carb, or I tried keto, or I'm on carnivore, or any of those things, okay? Most people who do those things have no understanding of how many calories are in each fat gram, which again, I said it on the show before, I'll say it again, there are 9 calories to every fat gram, 4 calories to every protein, and 4 calories to every carbohydrate. So if you eat a diet that is higher in fat, even if you're eating less food, even if you're eating less frequently, there is a good chance that you're eating more calories than you're expending. And it makes it really difficult for you to trim down, tone up, have abs, change your dress size, your pant size, etc.
Now, I joke one time, and I told these guys at Stacked about, I can use first names, I guess, Joe and Colin. I was like, because they're animals. They're like you. They're just ripped and they're fit and they're not gushy at all, just like you. And I'm like, what do you guys eat? And they're like, one of them said he'll make like a bolognese on Sunday and eat it all week long, like turkey bolognese. And hey, I eat salmon at lunch. The other guy was like, I ate salmon at lunch, and every day I ate a chicken breast at night. This kind of thing. And I was just like, no shot. I'm not going to do that.
I mean, look, I eat a salad every single day that consists of grilled chicken tenders, romaine, broccoli slaw, a little bit of carrots, and a little bit of croutons that I measure out, and a low-fat dressing every day.
That's one meal?
That's my lunch every day.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's why you look like that, and that's why I look like that. It's just hard for me to do. I got to figure out the number of calories that I need to eat in a day, and I've got to stick with it. I added up just today, and I think I'm already like at 2,000. I haven't even had dinner yet. That's got to be why I'm, I don't know. I'm not like I'm heavy.
Do you weigh yourself every day, Corey?
I slip into your office on your badass scale and weigh myself probably 3-4 times a week.
Right. Okay. So that's better than not. right? Like it's better than once a week. It's better than twice a week.
Yep.
Optimally would be weighing yourself first thing in the morning every day. You wake up, you go to the bathroom, you take all your clothes off, and you weigh yourself. And you have this standard of measurement, because if you have no clothes on, then there's no fluctuation in how much your clothes weigh.
Yep.
If you do it after you go to the bathroom, there's no liquid maybe being held in your bladder.
Yep.
Right. So it's a pretty standardized data entry point every single day. Right. So if we know that, then we have a good idea of whether the calories if you're counting your calories, if the calories you're intaking or not is enough, too much, too little, etc.
Hey, Bradley, if folks have questions about nutrition or are interested in fitness, interested in joining Stack Gym, have questions for you, how can they reach you?
Yeah, they can reach us on our website, fill out a contact form, www.stackedcoaching.com. That's STACKED coaching, COACHING.com. You can check us out on Instagram at Stacked Coaching. And we have about, 5.5 hours left before we shut down registration on our New Year, New You Nutrition Challenge. It's 6 weeks long. Virtually done, or remotely done. You don't have to be a part of the gym. And if you're interested in that, you can go to getstacked.me. That's GETSTACKED.me, where you will learn how to weigh your food, track your calories, count your calories in a meaningful way that will give you a better understanding of what is required in order to create change in your body.
Getstacked.me.
Getstacked.me.
Nice. And the website for the gym, stackedcoaching.com. Bradley, always a pleasure, brother. Thank you.
All right, my man. Have a good one.
That's Bradley Schneller, stackedcoaching.com. Stackedcoaching.com. Yeah, that's one thing I haven't done, the nutrition challenge over there. I just go to the classes and go to the gym and work out. But no, it's not like I'm heavy or way overweight, but probably like just a small amount overweight. Like, how do I just lose a few more pounds and not have like a bloated feeling? There's something like, I probably need to do that blood test, Miss Peaches, where they tell you like what not to eat that just bloats you out. Like, just avoid tomatoes, or eat that, or instead of this. Anyway, stackedcoaching.com, nutrition, fitness. Bradley knows what he's talking about. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon. A lot more coming your way. Do not move.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria. Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. On Jefferson Highway, across from Oxnard. On Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you. The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, fuller part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com. Your cool spot.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Corey Johnson back at you. Jeff Dorson's going to join us in about 30 seconds, Miss Peaches. Find out what's going on in the animal world on a Thursday afternoon. Hey, the 5 o'clock power hour is coming your way. A lot to discuss. 31 days till the Super Bowl. Bring it on. ISIS celebrating the Bourbon Street attack. Boris Mart, television attorney, just 7 days out from the attack with a bunch of emotional clients. And I'm not judging them. I'm just saying they're emotional. And I think a lawyer, an attorney worth his salt would have signed up with these clients and then said, guys, let's hold on. We don't need to announce that I'm with you, that we have a lawsuit. Let's wait and see what's up. You're very emotional. Plus the feds are going to, I think compensate you. But instead, suing the city of New Orleans. I don't think the city did anything wrong here. This is ridiculous. The media and politicians, their reaction right after this, blaming the city. Still, the media trying to find someone to blame. Ann Kirkpatrick, that Pee Wee Herman guy on Fox. The archers, why wasn't the city using them? Anyone ever seen an archer on a French Quarter sidewalk in your life? No, it wasn't terrorist or, hardened. And it was supposed to be. So we're going to sue. I mean, it's like supposed to be. That's exactly why cities, municipalities are like sort of immune to these types of lawsuits. We'll talk more about that in the 5 o'clock power hour. Plus some New Orleans East residents upset about $61 million to build pedestrian bridges over the I-10 from service road to service road with bike lanes and the like. I just don't get it. It's unbelievable. New Orleans East folks, like everybody in Metro New Orleans, Louisiana, change, something positive, you just bitch and complain about it. It's unbelievable. It's like a godsend, just what the doctor ordered, and you don't want it. It's mind-blowing. We'll talk about that in the 5 o'clock powwow. Jeff Dorson joins us. I love this photo you sent me, Jeff. The mama dog, beautiful little puppy, dumped in Hesmer up in Avoyles Parish. You guys go up there and save this mama and puppy. They seem pretty happy now.
They are. Actually, it wasn't us, but a rescuer reached out to us saying, could we help? And we said, of course. So we asked our members to donate. So that's our role. Sometimes we can't be there in person, but we can be there to help financially. So it was a team effort. It has a good ending, although I'm sorry to say the puppy did not make it. It had advanced parvo and was crashing when it was found.
This little puppy you sent me in the kennel with the mama did not make it.
Correct.
Jeez, and what's parvo?
Well, it's a disease that affects mainly newborns. If they're not vaccinated quickly, they can get it. And boy, it's a horrible way to go. Vomiting and diarrhea. So it's a hard thing once they get it.
And no way to treat it, obviously?
It's very, very time consuming, labor intensive, and expensive. So multiple thousands of dollars. And when they are in the advanced stages, it's hard to reverse.
Wow, that's tragic. That's sad.
It is, but somebody, dumped the mom and puppy, didn't want to bother. Let somebody else clean it up. Let them suffer out in the cold.
See, I mean, besides dumping the dog, like the puppy getting parvo and dying, that seems like added penalty to the person that did this to me.
Yep, the calls keep coming. Dogs out in the cold. So we got to do better, everybody, and we're going to up our game. We've got to get more politically involved, everybody, not just us, but the way forward is getting our elected officials to take this seriously, invest in it. It's part of our community wellness program. If our pets are well, it's signed. It's a good show that our community is well.
Yeah. You're right.
The inverse is equally true.
It's true.
Pets aren't being cared for. Your constituents are probably not doing well either.
No, it's right. That's the sign of a healthy community. How you treat your animals, there's no doubt.
Yeah, and have resources and means and programs, and it just can't be a little shelter at the end of town that nobody knows about that you throw in a couple of homeless dogs. We need to do better. They're really wonderful creatures, and so I think we all need to pay attention to how we treat them and shell out some money so that they have a better life ahead of them.
Yep, no doubt. That's what Jeff and the Humane Society of Louisiana have been doing for over 35 years, and they can't do it without us donating, without our help. So go to the website, humanela.org. And you can donate right now, one time, once a month, whatever you want to do. humanela.org. Go to the website right now. Please donate. All Jeff does every day, 24/7, 365, him and his crew, save animals, treat animals humanely. humanela.org. Anything else, Jeff?
That's a pretty good pitch. You've got it down after all these years. Thank you so much. And it's so true. And we'll take used cars, we'll resell them, keep the proceeds, or we'll use them for our 3 properties. This year, get involved, donate, volunteer, join us at meetings, workshops, lectures. We have a new office in Gretna. That's it for now.
HumaneLA.org is the website. You can check them out on Facebook, Humane Society of Louisiana on Facebook. Jeff, always a pleasure, brother.
We'll do it again next week. Thank you. And we're on Instagram, Twitter, the whole bit, everything, social media, Humane Society of Louisiana. You'll see where your donations end up, and come and join us so that there's more. We can divide the work up more, get stuff done.
Yeah, the Gretna facility. Give us that address so people can drop off dog food, cat food, litter, all that kind of stuff.
618 Durbany, Gretna. If we're not there, put it in the back and we'll get it when we return. 618 Durbany by City Hall.
This guy has the question for you. Oh, no, it wasn't a question. He's just saying you're the best.
Yep, that would be Blue Boy.
That would be Blue Boy. Jeff, always a pleasure, brother.
Back at you, brother.
Jeff Dorson, humanela.org. Blue Boy's saying, Blue Boy's begging you, please go to the website and help my pals. humanela.org. 5 o'clock power hour next.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
The Woodhouse Day Spa with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com. Your cool spot.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at La Barre by Causeway. Smoothie King. Hey, New Orleans, if you've ever wanted to experience life on St. Charles Avenue, now is your chance. The Grand Victorian, the ultimate bed and breakfast in the Garden District on the streetcar line. Built in 1893, this magnificent house will make your special weekend getaway special. To find out more, go to gvbb.com. That's gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian, where the locals go to get away.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread. Yeah, you're right. 5 o'clock power hour coming your way on a Thursday afternoon. I think the word we used in the 4 o'clock hour to start the program, it's dank out there. D-A-N-K, it's dank. Where Drew Brees is in La Jolla outside San Diego, not dank. But Drew Brees is right. Thank you for the intro, number 9. This is New Orleans. No, it's just overcast, kind of humid and wet, yet cold, like 47 degrees, and windy. Just when things were warming up slightly. I mean, early in the week, the high was like 43. At least we're nearing 50, 46, 47, 48. But throw in the high humidity and the wind, it's cold out there. Blustery and dank. No, I walked Tolly earlier today, my Australian Shepherd, and I had on the gloves, I had on the knit hat, and then I pulled the hood from the big coat. I had on the big coat. I pulled my hood up because it was just windy and cold, coupled with that wet feeling. Anyway, tomorrow we might hit 60. And then it drops again, not as cold as earlier this week, but 40s and 50s going into the weekend and next week. Cold front coming in overnight tomorrow and overnight. And tomorrow we might hit like 60 degrees. And then again, like I said, 40s and 50s all into next week. So this wintry mix continues for like the next week, but not as bad as earlier this week. Like what we're experiencing right now, that's going to be kind of like a little colder to start each morning than what we've got right now, but not the 30s we're experiencing all week. I mean, it was cold the last few days, especially on the North Shore, like mid-20s, high 20s to start the day. Had to pull out the old triple P, protect the plants, the pipes, and the pets, especially the pets. Hey, the 5 o'clock powwow this afternoon brought to you by Lebanon's Cafe. Where can you get 6 lamb chops, half dozen lamb chops with this grilled veggie medley like green beans and onions and stuff on the side? And then you still get to pick 2 Middle Eastern sides like tabbouleh, baba ganoush, hummus, mujedra. 20-something bucks. Hard to find 6 lamb chops in the grocery store for 20-something bucks. Lebanon's Cafe, lamb chop, shish kebab, all your favorite Middle Eastern sides, big portions, authentic, fresh. Lebanon's Cafe, priced right. Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, 7 days a week, 11 a.m., straight through till 9:30 at night. 7 days a week, tonight for dinner. Lebanon's Cafe. 5 o'clock powwow this afternoon, brought to you by Lebanon's Cafe. 31 days. 31 days till Super Bowl 59. Bring it on. This is the city of New Orleans in the United States of America, fresh off of a terrorist attack a week ago. And hell yeah, bring on Super Bowl 59, especially when you look at all the facts. I mean, ISIS right now celebrating the Bourbon Street attacks on their website. Now, this Jabbar guy, is he a terrorist? Sure, a terrorist act. Is he like some ISIS fanatic? I guess for the last few months or so he has been. But when you look at his life just crashing, work, marriage, family, all of it just hitting zero. And then instead of other people in America, the majority of people in America that deal with adversity, loss of job, loss of family, divorce, whatever, they pick themselves up by their own bootstraps and they move on. And they don't go fade out of, reality, get all depressed and go join ISIS and commit a terrorist act. No, just a zero, a loser, a lone wolf, not part of some ISIS terrorist plot, just all by himself, just flying the ISIS flag. That's all. So I'm not worried that, no, he's one of a dozen guys in constant contact with ISIS. And number two is about to get his, marching orders and about to go commit a terrorist attack. I don't believe that at all. Lone wolf, loser. The ISIS thing is secondary, like an incidental, just did that after he hit rock bottom. Desperate, loser, depressed, all those things, perfect storm. But I'm not worried that it's a plot or planned by ISIS and more is coming. It's like a plane crash. I'm flying that day. I'm at the airport and I see on TV, I'm about to board a plane and they show a plane crashing. I'm getting on my plane. So Super Bowl 59 in 31 days. New Orleans that day might be the safest place around. We're going to have like 1,000 more law enforcement on the ground from the feds. Same with Mardi Gras, like 1,000 more, this Tier 1 security level. So no, 31 days, Super Bowl 59, this is what we do. Tourists and conventions. We're one of the best places in the world that does this. Entertain people, world-class hotels, world-class restaurants, world-class venues, great bars, great music clubs, architecture, history, the French Quarter, the Mississippi River, our culture, our people. Come on. This is what we do. We're as good at it as anywhere in the world, maybe the best at it. Bring on Super Bowl 59. Are you kidding me? Boris Smart, television attorney, his law firm, just 7 days after the tragedy, announcing they're suing the city on behalf of some of the victims. The righteous, more classy, correct move by Boris Smart, the television attorney, sign up your clients all day long and then go, guys, you want to go full steam ahead? We'll do it. But as your attorney, I recommend we put on the brakes for a second. Everyone's highly emotional. I can't imagine what you're going through losing a family member. But let's put on the brakes. Let's look into this. Let's see what's going on. Are the feds going to respond and take care of the 14 families and the 40 or so that were injured financially from a terrorist attack? I think that's going to happen. Is a lawsuit against a municipality prohibitive? Just hard to prove, hard to win, and then hard to get paid? Yes. But no, Boris Smart, television attorney, pouncing on this. Not being the righteous attorney and saying, let's put the brakes on this, guys. I'm signed up. I'm your attorney. I'm representing you. But emotions are high right now. Let's let things settle down. Time is on our side right now. Let's see what the feds are going to do. Instead, I don't know. First off, I don't think the city's to blame at all. This terrorist attack could have happened anywhere, anytime. The rest of New Orleans, normal people in New Orleans, Louisiana, the rest of the country know what I know. This could have happened at their place, in their city, their town, easily. And they know there's nothing you can do about it. Now, I very rarely get on the media, only when it's time to get on the media. But some media members, this Pee Wee Herman guy on Fox blaming Kirkpatrick, not knowing about the archers. Have you ever seen an archer on a sidewalk in a French Quarter in your life? On a French Quarter sidewalk ever? Have you? I've never seen one. I'm not saying it hadn't happened. I've never seen it. Why wasn't anyone saying protect the sidewalks before this, including the media? But now let's pounce on the city because of this opening. Could have had the barrier up, could have had the bollards, and the vehicle could have gotten around. It wasn't hardened. It wasn't terrorist proof. There's no one at fault. It was a terrorist act. No, that's what it boils down to. Everyone anywhere knows this could have happened to them in their community. But these media types, these politicians in New Orleans and Louisiana, and now these lawyers pouncing on this tragedy, I just think it's wrong. Let cooler heads prevail. Let emotions subside somewhat. Then you can logically think. No, pretty pathetic. You know, it's pretty pathetic. Some residents in the East bitching and complaining about $61 million, 3 new pedestrian bridges over I-10, just what the doctor ordered, and complaining about it. Crazy. You know what isn't crazy? Going to Tracy's to check out your favorite sports teams on the big screen TVs. Flat screens, too many to count. That great roast beef po' boy, that full kitchen. Bigger and better than ever. Tracy's Magazine at Pleasant between Washington and Louisiana. Check out your favorite sports teams at Legendary Tracy's on Magazine.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles,
It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Boy, a great way to visit the city of New Orleans, staying at the Grand Victorian, the ultimate bed and breakfast on St. Charles Avenue, on the streetcar line in the Garden District. If you're listening or watching from outside New Orleans, the Grand Victorian is the place to stay. It'll be memorable. Within walking distance of great restaurants, shops, historic sites, St. Charles Avenue, Britannia Magazine, or get on the streetcar. Head downtown, French Quarter, head uptown, the Grand Victorian. And it's not just for out-of-towners, not just for visitors, the ultimate staycation for locals to enjoy the city, for that special weekend getaway. Very romantic. The Grand Victorian. To book a room at the Grand Victorian, GVBB.com. You got friends, family coming in for Valentine's Day, Super Bowl, French Quarter Fest, Jazz Fest. GVBB.com. Book a room right now at the Grand Victorian. They will sell out. GVBB.com, the Grand Victorian. What a first-class way to check out the city of New Orleans. $61 million. Right when I read this, I was like, great news, so needed, brilliant. And then midway through the article, it's people in New Orleans East complaining about it. It's mind-blowing. It really is. It's like the port wanting to build the container terminal in Violet and St. Bernard residents freaking out. You're going to get another elevated access road from Violet to I-510, elevated. Another way out of the parish. And a green business, not expanding a plant, more tank farms, more refineries, more polluters, more cancer-causing agents. Green, no pollution, like zero. And St. Bernard folks are freaking out about it. I mean, I just don't get New Orleans. I really don't. The metro area, Louisiana. Now, I understand human nature and, not change is something that we're adverse to. I get it. But my God, man, when it's positive things and people just freak out, hey, let's change this nasty bus barn that isn't used on Magazine into a Whole Foods grocery. No. Let's build a Walmart on Chapatoulas in the Bend in the River. Oh no, it'll wreck the shops on Magazine. I mean, Magazine's more, potent and working than it ever has been, more viable than it's ever been. Ever. No, it's unreal. $61 million. Federal money. 3 new pedestrian bridges over I-10. Linking the service road on the south side of I-10 to the service road on the north side of I-10. I don't know about you, but how many times have you been beelining through the east and you see one of those people? First off, they'll put up like a new chain link fence by the service road. And there's a reason they don't have the piping on top of those interstate chain link fences, because if a car goes off the road, you don't want that pipe going through the windshield and impaling the driver or passengers. So there's only a wire holding up the top, which makes it, I guess, a little less hardy of a chain link fence, only when man messes with it. And people climbing the fence over and over again, bending it down eventually. Then it's finally flattened in these popular pedestrian crossing areas. And then you see someone running across I-10 in the east. It's insane. You're booking down I-10 doing 65, 70, and human beings are running across the lanes and then climbing over that like garden wall thing in the middle, and then running across the other 3 lanes and then mangling the other chain link fence so they can go see their friends on the other side or whatever. So to solve the problem, first off, the service road in the east is getting the attention it deserves. It's so neglected. It's going to be lit up, more viable, something that might stimulate sale or lease of property on the service road. And wow, some businesses, some retail could come out to New Orleans East. So you're improving that. Then you're going to build bike paths so people can ride their bikes and get up and down that area. And in a safe way where the traffic's on the service road, the interstate traffic's on the interstate, and the bikes are on the bike path. And then instead of people risking their lives and mangling the fence and flattening it out and running across the interstate, there'll be 3 bridges. One at Mayo, which is basically between Morrison and Crowder. And then on Bundy, which is basically between Crowder and Reed. And then another one on Wright, which is between Reed and Bullard. So you'll have 3 bridges in between Morrison and Bullard. In between each exit, there'll be a pedestrian bridge, Mayo, Bundy, and Wright, for you folks that know the East, going over the I-10. And nice bridges. And right away, instead of like when I saw the headline, I'm like, yeah, excellent. Then the rest of the headline and the story, some citizens concerned, critical, spend the money another way, don't need this, bike path shouldn't be on the service road, all these crazy comments, just clueless. Someone, the feds, are handing you $61 million, and folks in the East are going to freak out about it. Then they start bringing up this crap because they're buying into like the Oliver Thomas $2 million to do the grocery store study. Give the $2 million to that Vietnamese woman who just got murdered, to her family. They own and operate a grocery. Give them the $2 million and have them open up a second grocery in New Orleans East. A $2 million grocery study. You don't think Rouse's or Bromart or the national chains Winn-Dixie and the like haven't done studies on New Orleans East and a grocery store? You think that old Schwegman's on Bullard can't be had for basically free? They're giving that building away. They're begging you to lease it. It was a grocery store. There's a Winn-Dixie on Chef, and there is the Walmart grocery on Bullard. And that's about it, except for little mom and pop shops, like the Vu woman who was murdered. But a $2 million study, the city doing that, is just a total waste of time. Ridiculous. It's not going to do anything. And then the complaints, we don't need these bridges over the interstate. We need grocery stores and this. Then when you get the service road nice, when you have retailers coming in, when you have these bridges over the interstate, you're improving the quality of life in the East. For the residents that live there, maybe you lure in some more residents. Maybe, dare I say it, you lure in some retail, some businesses. And then all of a sudden, a grocery store naturally pops up because it's viable. Because it's viable. New Orleans East has the major problem in New Orleans East, a ridiculous lack of leadership by public officials, neglect of the East, forgetting the East by public officials in New Orleans and the state for decades and decades and decades. I mean, this happens over time and it's just repeated. It gets enormous and it gets, almost to the point of unfixable. It's fixable, but it's got to go through the process of slowly but surely building it back up. And instead, it's a $2 million grocery study. It's ridiculous. And it's pathetic marketing of like the Six Flags site, the coveted Six Flags site, or the old Lowe's site by the plaza. Instead of Target or like IKEA, a regional get, something that would attract people to the east from all over the region. You got this Salvation Army store, or Goodwill, which is fine, but that could have gone anywhere. And then Six Flags instead of Bass Pro Shop or Cabela's or Flying J Truck Stop or Buc-ee's or some water park or something like that, Field of Dreams, AAU Field. You have two local people. Troy Henry, his company, wins the bid, and the runner-ups were Drew Brees and Demario Davis, Saints players. Just where are the national folks bidding on this coveted corner of I-10 and I-510? You may roll your eyes and go, coveted, Corey, what are you talking about? Yeah, there are only so many cities in America. There are only so many intersections of interstates in America outside of cities. It's viable. But no one knew about it. Flying J Truck Stop, Buc-ee's, Bass Pro Shop, Cabela's, Disney, Water Park, AAU, Field of Dreams. No one knew about that site being available except Troy Henry and Drew Brees and Demario Davis. No, just pathetic, weak, terrible marketing and promotion. That's why it didn't go anywhere. Just sad. No, but what is sad is Metro New Orleans folks, getting something that's a positive and kind of pissing all over it, moaning and bitching and complaining. These 3 pedestrian bicycle bridges are needed to get people from the south side of I-10 in the east to the north side of I-10 in the east. Because people right now are screwing up the chain link fences and running across the interstate, and that's how they're getting from point A to point B. And I'm not so worried about the interstate chain link fence, although that is ridiculous. I'm talking about someone getting killed and then causing a wreck on the interstate, multiple people getting killed, human beings running across the interstate's insane. No, that's how it's like the anti-Claiborne I-10. You're pulling a Ronnie Lamarck. You're bridging the gap. You're bringing people together. You're making it more of a livable community. And people in the East are going to bitch and complain about a $61 million federal grant, free money, improving the service roads, adding bike paths, and adding these bike and pedestrian bridges. No, it's unbelievable. It really is. Half the articles about citizens being critical, concerned, spend the money elsewhere. We need a grocery. What does that have to do with the $61 million federal grant? We need a grocery. It's crazy. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. Boris Smart Law Firm, just 7 days after the tragedy, announcing they're representing, I believe, 7 of the 14 victims. And they're suing the city. Just ridiculous on so many levels. A real law firm, not a television attorney. See, these guys are so nervous, the Morris Barts of the world. Like they know these victims are going to sign up with some attorney. No, what a real attorney would have done, would have signed them up and said, guys, if you want us to go forward full blast, we can. But here's my recommendation. We wait. Emotions are high. You're going to get some settlement money. I would think the federal government, like 9/11 terrorist attack victims, U-14 and the 40 or so that were injured in the hospital, you're going to get some compensation by the federal government for this. So besides that, which as a professional lawyer looking into this, I feel confident in that. Besides that, let's wait and see. Let's let emotions die down a little bit because emotions are at the highest they've ever been in your life. A beloved person in your life, a loved one, tragically killed in a terrorist attack. Can't even imagine what you're going through in the least bit. but I know your emotions have to be high and rational, logical thinking a little distorted right now. So let's slow this thing down just 7 days out from the tragedy and not sue the city of New Orleans. No, one thing, I mean, there's a responsibility having a microphone and a television camera in front of you every day. And I think a lot of people that do this type of thing or something similar to it don't realize that, especially younger people. But I don't know who this guy is, this native New Orleans guy who looks like Pee Wee Herman, who's on Fox. But dogging the police chief and should have had the archers out, which no one's ever seen on a sidewalk in the French Quarter ever. And politicians saying the city's irresponsible and they should have had bollards up and this barrier should have been up and on and on and on. Where were all these people before the terrorist attack? Like for Bayou Classic or New Orleans Bowl or for Taylor Swift. Hey, we got to protect the sidewalk with these archers, which I've never heard of before. And this Pee Wee Herman guy on Fox, nationwide audience, some media type, Kirkpatrick didn't even know about the archers. Yeah, I bet there's a lot of city property that the police chief doesn't have any clue about. And the archers aren't meant to be used individually to block a sidewalk. They're meant to be used with other archers connected to block a street. That's what they're designed for. The real problem was the 4 bollards, which the ones that they're going to install for the Super Bowl aren't even like worthy of the job. They're like the cheapest, most inferior ones. You need some hardy bollards, and you need one on either side of the 4 on the street, just a single one in the middle of the sidewalk, in between the last street bollard and the French Quarter building, and then no vehicle could get through, and you need layers of this. So the sidewalks, I went down with a tape measure and measured that F-150 Lightning could get through on the left side of the barrier and on the right side of the bollards at Iberville. No problem. Plenty of room to spare. But that doesn't make the city negligent or responsible for this terrorist attack. And that's what most normal citizens that aren't sue happy or over the top. And I'm not saying these victims are sue happy. They're emotional right now. And these attorneys are the wrong people. They're pouncing on these people and they want to sign them up and announce the lawsuit because they don't want to lose them to another attorney, when the righteous thing would be like, let's slow down the roll. Let's get your emotions in check. And we're going to do the logical thing. I'm on your side. No, the media, politicians, and now these TV law firms just dogging the city, ripping this, this terrorist attack, blaming the city, trying to blame someone. When normal, everyday New Orleanians, folks in Jefferson, Louisiana, around the country know could have happened in my neighborhood where I live, anywhere, anytime, anywhere USA, this could have happened. No one's to blame for this. This guy could have done it somewhere else in a second. So no, this is just, I just think low class, petty, and I'm not blaming the victims. They're emotional. I'm blaming these shark TV attorneys like Boris Mart. 7 days out. Got to sign them up because another TV attorney like me will sign them up. And got to sue the city, which is basically an impossible lawsuit because the city's not negligent here. No, it's just really, it's low class, it's petty, it's classless. Not low class, classless. And it's weak. And Boris Mart's supposed to be this proud New Orleanian, lives on Audubon Place off St. Charles Avenue, brags about $1 billion in settlements since he's been doing this. 30-40%, what's that? $400 million for Boris Mart? And now he's suing the city of New Orleans. And in my opinion, the city did nothing wrong. They're not negligent here. And those 14 folks that were tragically killed and the 40 folks that were injured, some fighting for their life right now, they deserve compensation from the feds from this terrorist attack. No different from 9/11, the 3,000 plus that received millions of dollars each on average. Millions of dollars each on average from the federal government. These 14 victims' families and the 40 or so survivors, they deserve compensation. They deserve it. I'm 110% for that. This lowest common denominator, these TV attorneys pouncing on it, a week out. Emotions are raw and already announcing this lawsuit. Just classless, pathetic, and pretty much unwinnable. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday. Hey, if you're checking us out on YouTube, yeah, that's a jar of Blue Plate mayonnaise on the studio set. You're listening on the radio, you'll just have to use your imagination. Theater of the mind. Yep, New Orleans' own Blue Plate mayonnaise. Of course that's on the studio set. What other mayonnaise would I have up there? In my life, I've never, ever purchased any other mayonnaise than Blue Plate. In my life, there's never, ever been any other mayonnaise in my house growing up with my parents to where I live now for decades. My adult life, I've never, ever had anything in my house but Blue Plate mayonnaise in the pantry or the fridge. If you're a New Orleanian, you know it's got to be Blue Plate. New Orleans mayonnaise, a family tradition for 98 years, since 1927. Spread the love. Blue Plate mayonnaise.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway, across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Rouse's Markets means convenience. Every one of our 65 locations opens at 7 a.m., some at 6:30, and they're open until 10 p.m., with some staying open till 11 or even midnight. Convenience. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TF-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TF-AC.com, your cool spots.
Have you been to the new Tracy's on Magazine? There's no better sports bar restaurant in the entire city. Tracy's is inside of a 100-year-old building with literally dozens and dozens of flat-screen TVs, including a 120-inch monster. Tracy's has everything you're looking for in a sports bar, including arguably the best roast beef po' boy in town. When it's time to check out your favorite teams, make it Tracy's on Magazine at Pleasant, in between Washington and Louisiana. Legendary Tracy's in the Garden District.
Want to stay somewhere special when visiting New Orleans? Look no further than the Grand Victorian. Located in the Garden District on the St. Charles Avenue streetcar line, the Grand Victorian is ideally placed for visiting the city's local attractions, fabulous restaurants, shops, and more. Make your stay in New Orleans something to remember. To find out more about the Grand Victorian or to book, go to gvbb.com. The Grand Victorian.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
New Orleans' very own Evermore water. That's what I drink every day on the set. That's what I've got loaded in my refrigerator at home. Evermore, EVAMOR. You can get home or office delivery or find out more about maybe the best water on earth. Clearly better water. The bottling facility sits on top of the aquifer about 35 miles from the Dome, from the French Quarter. EVAMOR, evermore.com. Naturally occurring high pH, naturally filtered and pure, literally thousands of years in the making, protected by tons of impenetrable rock. Evermore is rare. Clearly better water. Evermore.com. EVAMOR, New Orleans' own Evermore. 31 days till Super Bowl 59. Bring it on. Seriously, I could be at the airport and I could watch TV and a plane could crash somewhere in the world and I'd be getting on my flight in 30 minutes. No problem, not a concern or worry. This terrorist attack, a rarity, an outlier. This isn't ISIS with a bunch of agents in the country and this Jabbar guy was one of the agents communicating with ISIS in the Far East. This is some loser who got depressed, who hit rock bottom in his life. And instead of most Americans that have adversity hit them, most people in the world pick themselves up by their own bootstraps and move on and improve their life and get back on track. This loser threw in the towel. So much so where he hooked up with ISIS or pretended to be an ISIS fanatic. But there's no proof he's like some, ISIS contact with people in the Middle East and part of a cell of a dozen other losers like him. He was in Houston. Where can you cause the most damage on New Year? I mean, Vegas, New York, New Orleans. It's top 3-5 in America. 5 hours down the I-10. Planned it out. No, just a lone wolf, loser, depressed idiot that caused a lot of damage. Didn't mind dying because his life was so bad. So no, I'm not concerned that ISIS has someone else and they're going to hit soft targets in New Orleans again. The Super Bowl, it's going to be probably one of the most safe places to be in the world. Mardi Gras, I'll be participating in that. So I'm not worried about a terrorist attack. Boris Mart, television attorney, just 7 days after the tragedy, representing, I think, 7 of the 14 victims that died, their families, suing the city of New Orleans. To me, just a classless act, just a TV attorney BS act, not a real lawyer, someone just out for the money.
You know, a real attorney, someone with class, not these TV attorneys, would have got with the victim. Sign them up if you want. You're worried about losing him to another law firm. Hey, it's what I do. I'm a lawyer. They came to me. I want to sign them up. Great. And then say to the victims, hey, guys, let's put on the brakes for a second. You're very emotional right now. Just a week ago, someone beloved, a family member, brother, friend, wife, husband, son, daughter, murdered by a terrorist in New Orleans on Bourbon Street. Like the terrorists in D.C. or New York, the feds compensated those families millions of dollars each on average. I think the feds are going to do the same thing for the 14 families and the 39 or 40 that are in the hospital, some fighting for their lives. They're all going to get financially compensated. Doesn't bring back the loved one, but it's just America trying to soften the blow somewhat. Try to make it slightly right when it can't be made right. Do the right thing. So I would be like, let's wait and see what the feds are going to do. Coupled with the fact suing a municipality like they're at fault for this is beyond a long shot. Any legal expert, any lawyer, legitimate lawyer, not a TV lawyer will tell you this, but Boris Mart gets a lot of free publicity. These victims are emotional and raw, and he's pouncing on them and encouraging this instead of doing the right thing and saying, let's slow down the roll, guys. Everybody's emotional right now. We want to make a decision where emotion is mostly out of the way and logic and reason is leading the thought process, the decision that we make. 7 days out, just classless, just pathetic. This thing is very revealing. Some politicians, some media members, and now some sleazy attorneys just pouncing on the city, attacking the city. The city's to blame for this. It's pathetic. The city of New Orleans is not to blame for this. Normal people everywhere realize this could have happened in my community, my city, my town in a second. And there's nothing we can do about it. Free capitalistic society, America, folks going to sporting events, concerts, any major event. Anyone can jump a sidewalk and plow over a bunch of people, especially someone that is just a desperate, depressed loser that doesn't mind dying, that's ready to die. That's what most people know. Could have happened anywhere. But these, in my opinion, selfish people, I'm not talking about the victims suing. They're in an emotional state right now. I'm talking about the lawyers, the sharks going after these folks. And then announcing publicly, we're suing the city 7 days out. Some politicians, just pathetic. And some media members, like looking for someone to blame, looking for a scapegoat, just not crazy terrorist, hell-bent on killing a bunch of people, doesn't mind dying. How do you stop that? You can't. You can't. And you can put up all the bollards and barriers you want. Some loser will walk in the corner with an automatic weapon and shoot up a bunch of people, set off a bomb in a duffel bag, whatever. Someone hell-bent on killing that doesn't mind dying, hard to stop in a capitalistic, free society like America. No, I thought some media members, some politicians, and some of these sleazy lawyers, remember them. This is just wrong. New Orleans did nothing wrong. We did nothing wrong. Best quality, best price, best selection. They're doing a lot right at your neighborhood Rouse's. Convenient, too. Every Rouse's. The latest they open, 7 a.m., some earlier. The earliest any of the 65-plus Rouse's close, 10 p.m. Some stay open later. Convenience, best quality, best selection, best price, tastes like home. Rouse's Markets.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
For over 20 years, serving healthy, fresh, authentic Middle Eastern cuisine, Lebanon's Cafe, in the Carrollton section of Uptown on the streetcar line, Wednesday through Monday, 11 a.m. to 9:30. Lebanon's Cafe.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com. Your cool spot.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quickling. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
At just about the end of any week, anytime, you can just think about the last few days and if you had Leidenheimer French bread or not. Every single New Orleanian alive today, Leidenheimer French bread was here before you were born. It's been here your entire life. Probably will be here when we're gone. 3 centuries now. They started baking that French bread you love, Leidenheimer French bread, good to the last crumb, in 1896. 1896. They now bake it in New Orleans, bag it and box it, and send it out to 30 other states. The majority of America now enjoying that Leidenheimer French bread we've been enjoying our entire life. And all that French bread that's in 30 other states around the country, all baked at their New Orleans bakery. Leidenheimer French bread. Leidenheimer Baking Company. No, I mean, it could be a po' boy. It could be a fine dining restaurant. Leidenheimer French bread's part of our life. 31 days till Super Bowl 59. Bring it on. ISIS celebrating the Bourbon Street attack. Boris Mart, that's Morris Bart, TV attorney, representing 7 of the victims, already suing the city of New Orleans 7 days from the tragedy. I don't blame the victims. I blame TV attorney Morris Bart for pouncing on this, announcing this. It should be, hey, victims, you're emotional right down. I'm your attorney. I'm representing you. Let's slow down the roll. Let's focus on what the feds are going to give you, because it's going to be millions of dollars. And in my opinion, the city of New Orleans is not negligent in the least bit on this. The folks in New Orleans East are negligent on this, complaining about $61 million in free federal money. I think this is a brilliant idea. This is an improvement to the quality of life in New Orleans East for regular, everyday residents. Improving the service road, adding lights to the service road, adding a bike path to the service road, and most importantly, 3 new pedestrian and bicycle bridges over I-10. Right now, you have people going from the south side of I-10, physically jumping those chain link fences or flattening them, which is even worse, and then running across the interstate over that garden, running across 3 more lanes of interstate and getting to the north side of New Orleans East on I-10. Some residents complaining about this. 3 bridges, Mayo, Bundy, and Wright, in between the main exits in the east. Great idea. Improvement to New Orleans East. That's how you get a grocery store. These small improvements that make New Orleans East more livable, more of a magnet towards retail and businesses. That's how you land a grocery. What's that, Blue Boy? Fantasy Friday tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Be there.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.